you ever look at a situation and think, how is this still happening? That's kind of where we're at with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Every few weeks, it's something new. A PR stunt gone wrong, another weird rebrand, or someone in their team suddenly leaving. And now we're looking at a number that's hard to ignore. 22 staff members gone. That's right. Since Harry and Meghan stepped down from royal duties, 22 people have either left or were quietly shown the door. At this point, it's less of a team and more of a rotating cast list for a workplace reality show. Let's be real, everyone has bad days at work. But when over 20 people walk out on the same two bosses in 5 years, it's not just a bad day anymore. That's a situation. We're not talking about interns who stuck around for a summer. Now imagine a team like that, 1 minute. These were high-level people. Strategists, social media managers, heads of operations, folks who were announced with glowing press releases, only to vanish before they ever had a chance to prove their worth. You'd think someone might stop and go, hey, maybe it's not them, maybe it's us. But nah, not in Montecito. Now we can laugh about it, and believe me, we will. But the deeper issue here is how Meghan and Harry continue to hire the best of the best, only for those people to bolt faster than Harry from a royal engagement. None of us are believing it, and we're just thinking, this is so lightweight. This is not a businesswoman. She's talking all the time about being a businesswoman, but she's not showing that she's a business. Absolutely, it's wild. These aren't people off Craigslist. They're pulled from major companies, Netflix, Spotify, global PR firms. But nothing sticks. The press releases always sound the same. Visionary leader, strategic powerhouse, industry veteran. Then 6 months later, silence. Gone. No follow-up, no wins to speak of, just another name added to the ever-growing Sussex staff graveyard. And just when you think it can't get weirder, here comes the cherry on top. That twerking video. Yes, a literal twerking video was allegedly cooked up by one of the agencies they brought in to help elevate Meghan's lifestyle brand. And apparently, that's where the last wave of exits started, because nothing says premium luxury brand like a cringeworthy clip that feels more TikTok than timeless. Honestly, it's hard to imagine the meeting where that idea got approved. Like who pitched it and who nodded along thinking, yep, this will fix everything. Spoiler, it didn't. The wildest part is Meghan and Harry keep blaming everyone but themselves. Staff turnover must have been internal sabotage. PR blunders? That's the media's fault? Failed launches? Oh no, the plan was always to pivot. But after a while, you've got to stop pointing fingers. At some point, the common denominator is, well, them. And let's not ignore the financial angle. With each new staff member comes a paycheck, NDA, and probably a severance package. Multiply that by 22, and you're looking at a serious money drain. People don't just walk away quietly, especially not if they were brought in to fix a brand that's been spiraling for years. Makes you wonder if this constant turnover is a symptom of deeper problems. Money issues, creative conflicts, or just plain old toxic leadership. It's not even about whether Harry and Meghan are likable anymore. It's about whether anyone still wants to work with them. That number, 22, is loud. It's not subtle. It screams dysfunction no matter how many curated Instagram posts or inspirational taglines they try to throw on top. And yet, they keep pretending everything is fine. Maybe the real royal drama was never in Buckingham Palace. Maybe it's happening in a beige office in California. One of the strangest things about this whole mess is how disconnected Meghan and Harry seem from the reality around them. Like they're living in this self-made PR bubble, convinced they're revolutionizing celebrity while the rest of us are just watching the circus unfold in real time. It's this weird combination of delusion and overconfidence that keeps their empire wobbling instead of collapsing. You'd think after the 15th staff member quit, they'd stop and reassess. But nope. Just more press releases, more rebrands, more new chapters. It's like a never-ending episode of Sussex the Reboot. Take Archewell, for example. This was supposed to be their big thing, the non-profit production company, vague branding facility that would launch them into the stratosphere as global do-gooders. But here's the reality. No one knows what it actually does. There have been a couple of podcast episodes, some blurry photos of charity visits, and a lot of aspirational language. But tangible results? Not really. And behind the scenes, people keep jumping ship. Heads of strategy, directors of comms, even their social media manager reportedly bailed before that infamous twerking clip ever saw the light of day. She probably sprinted to the exit. And then there's the way they handle these exits, always with the same polite, soulless statements. So-and-so has decided to pursue new opportunities. We're grateful for their contributions. But when you see that exact sentence 22 times in 5 years, it loses all meaning. Like, okay, are we all supposed to pretend that these highly accomplished professionals just happen to keep leaving the most talked about couple in modern royal history for no reason? It doesn't add up. What's even messier is how Meghan and Harry try to spin each flop as a strategic pivot. Remember that weird jam jar rollout for the American Riviera orchard that was supposed to be Meghan's graceful re-entry into the lifestyle space? Like a modern-day Martha Stewart with a Montecito twist. But it ended up being a glorified Instagram post and a rumor mill explosion. No real launch, no clear business model, just a name, a gold label, and a batch of confused influencers wondering if they were part of some elaborate prank. Spoiler, they were. It's this pattern. Grand announcement, awkward silence, quiet retreat that keeps happening. Like when Harry signed that Spotify deal, dropped one podcast and then ghosted the platform. Or when Meghan hyped up archetypes, released a few heavily edited interviews, then suddenly moved on. It's almost like they're addicted to the announcement part. The follow-through? Not so much. And the craziest part is that they still expect everyone to buy the narrative that they're victims. The media is out to get them. The palace is full of bullies. Staff just didn't understand their vision. But at some point, public sympathy dries up. People start asking basic questions like, wait, why do you need a full communications team when you barely communicate anything? Why do you keep hiring world-class strategists if you're just going to ignore their advice? And how many times can you call yourself misunderstood before we all start wondering if the misunderstanding is actually just bad behavior? It's not even about royal protocol anymore. It's about professionalism, consistency, and treating people well. And if 22 professionals, all hired with high hopes and hefty resumes, decided that walking away was better than sticking it out, maybe the brand isn't just broken. Maybe it was never built right in the first place. There's something kind of poetic about how Harry and Meghan tried so hard to build their own empire, free from palace rules, free from royal titles, and ended up stuck in the exact mess they swore they were escaping. Instead of being bound by tradition, now they're trapped in bad decisions, PR chaos, and what looks like a serious case of reputation whiplash. What was supposed to be a clean break has turned into a never-ending identity crisis. And the cracks aren't just showing, they're growing. Every move they make feels reactive now, like they're throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks. One week, it's a glossy rebrand. The next, it's a somber interview about trauma. Then it's a lifestyle launch that fizzles out, followed by a tone-deaf video or a random award ceremony appearance. It's whiplash. There's no narrative thread, no sense of direction, just noise. Constant, confusing noise. And meanwhile, the people they once relied on, the supposed dream team, are gone. The folks who were supposed to shape their new image, manage crises, pitch projects, and turn public perception around. They either quit, were let go, or quietly drifted off into the fog. And what's left behind is this sense of constant scrambling. You can almost feel the panic behind every perfectly filtered post and over-edited podcast. They're not leading a brand, they're trying to contain a fire. The irony is that Harry and Meghan had every advantage when they started this journey. Global name recognition, public goodwill, high-level connections, the media's attention, all of it handed to them on a silver platter. People wanted them to win. They could have built something enduring, smart, even powerful. But instead of playing the long game, they chose headlines over foundation, style over substance, control over collaboration, and it's costing them one staff member at a time. It's no secret that the industry talks. When people leave jobs, especially in high-profile circles, they talk to each other. And when that many people leave the same place in such a short span, word spreads fast. Reputation isn't just what the public sees, it's what people behind the scenes experience. And if the whispers are true about chaos, about toxicity, about constant micromanagement, and misplaced ambition, then it's no wonder talented professionals are running in the opposite direction. No paycheck is worth that level of dysfunction. What's wild is how this constant implosion has become their brand. Now, that wasn't the plan, of course, but over time, that's what people have come to expect. Not compassion or leadership or impact, just drama. Endless, messy drama. And the more they try to escape it, the more they seem to lean into it. Whether they realize it or not, the chaos is the show now, and it's exhausting. Somewhere in all this, there's probably a real story of two people trying to reclaim their lives. But that version keeps getting drowned out by bad choices, overblown narratives, and this need to constantly prove something to the world. If there's any hope of salvaging what they've built, it's going to take more than a new hire or another apology tour. It's going to take shutting out the noise, taking real accountability, and maybe, just maybe, stepping out of their own spotlight long enough to figure out who they actually want to be. Until then, we're stuck watching the slow unraveling of a brand that could have been something remarkable. Instead, it's become the punchline in its own story. And the saddest part, they're still holding the pen.